So last month, me and my girlfriend made about around $600 in side hustles. We've been trying out and something or actually working. And I've been watching like a lot of YouTube videos. They've been talking about side hustles, best side hustles for 2024, and they really never done them. They just redo the article and put it out there, right? I don't think these videos are useful. So today I'm just gonna say like seven of the side hustles that could make you money that I personally been using and my girlfriend had done it with me, and we've been working hard to continue these side hustles, and be sure to stick around for the last side hustle number seven, where my brother is doing it right now and he's making like around $200 a day on the side hustle. A lot of hard work, but if you want to make money, if you have the dedication, be sure to watch till the end, see if you can be feasible for you guys. All right, so number one, side hustle that my girlfriend is currently doing is renting out her extra room on Facebook. Right, she just lists the room in Facebook for $450, and she will usually do like a background check and use a renting software called Rentoro or something, where she can keep a deposit, keep a record if the renter is paying money or not. And the way she finds renters is listing on Facebook Marketplace, right? And people come and tour, give them a tour. If they like it, she make them sign like a lease, right? Which is not a contract, it's a lease. Talking about you gotta pay the utility, so we split it in three ways. Right now we got two people living in the house, and we rent out two rooms and then one room for us. And this is a great way to help pay the mortgage down. So one room runs about 400, and the second one is like smaller, it's about 350. So about 700 and kind of income, but it goes toward mortgage. So it helps a lot. And it's just basically, if you don't mind people just coming out of your house, because right now the house is about it's like 2 stories, so we typically don't never see the people coming in and out because they're like college students, and it's pretty great. So if you think about renting your house, be sure to list it on Facebook Marketplace and rent it out, and make sure to get like a lease contract. So it's a very easy and convenient income as long as you do like background check. Make sure you call previous renter. Make sure you do all your research on that person, right? Make sure it's a good person, and rent it out to that person. Second side hustle you can do is dog walking or doggy daycare. So there's a website called Rover. They charge about $20 to $27 a day if you do like a dog sitting, and if you had the dog in your house. I personally, me and my girlfriend have two dogs right there, and we use that to kind of doggy sit, right? And you can walk the dog a day at one time for like $10 or something, and depend on your area and how much demand is in that area. So typically, if you already a pet owner, it's great, right? People trust other people that already owns pets. So I own two dogs. My girlfriend owns two dogs, and I know how to take care of the dog, feed the dog, play with them, and it's great. If you have a big enough house, you can kind of babysit some dogs, because some owners have to go for like a 5 day vacation. One day you charge them $30 to babysit. So 5 days, that is like $150, almost $180, right? Babysitting the dog for 5 days, right? And make sure that the dog just make sure that the dog doesn't like chew up stuff, or make sure the dog you feed the dog well and let them outside to poop, and you can make almost $150 to $200 a day. And typically, these owners will provide the food for them, the treats and stuff. So there's no money. You don't have to go out and buy any money. All you have to do is just make sure feed the dog and give them treats and walk the dog, right? And that's all you need to do. And number three, side hustle is renting out your car. If you have a car that you don't drive a lot, you can rent out Turo, right? Especially if you're like close to a live close to the airport, you can rent out like a Toyota or Honda. Like that typically will get you about $70 per day. And total insurance is pretty great. It covers like all the major accidents and stuff. You gotta drive your car to the pickup location, right? If the person just arrived at an airport, drive it there. If the person wants to meet in downtown, you drive there, and then you have a second person and drive you home, right? And that person will take the car, drive around, and then and they'll give you the car back. So depending on the car, if you have a Tesla, you can rent that out for like 80 to $100 a day, right? And you just charge it at home, so there's no really gas charge involved. But if you have a gasoline car, Honda, 40 to 60, BMW or Mercedes, $120 a day, right? And they will pay for the gas. So if they have an empty tank, they better fill it out and pay that fee. Well, it's a very good way to do it, but sometimes you gotta keep in mind, like you sometimes you'll get like bad renters renting the car. They'll hit a curve, they trash the uh, car inside of it, or they damage the car. It does give you a lot of headache because cars are very expensive. But if you live in a really nice neighborhood, that is major low crime rate, and typically you have a very reasonable or enjoyable time renting out your car, and you can make about $120 a day, depending on the car. And that basically, if you rent it out for like 3 days in a row or 4 days in a row, that's like $400 in a week. That typically just cover your car mortgage, right? And it give you a lot of stress relief if you can rent out the car in 2 row. So do some research if this is right for you. And fourth side hustle is lawn mowing service. So there's two websites you can use. One is a Task Rabbit, and second one is Lawn Starter. These are kind of like iOS or Android apps you can download, and you can sign up as a provider or a seller, right? And it lists your service, how much you charge for mowing the lawn and stuff. If you have a lawnmower, a blower, a weed eater, these are the three tools typically every American have, right? And lawn mowing is a lot of work, and a lot of people doesn't really like to do lawn mowing, so they usually hire out on the summer to someone else. They come over and clean the lawn, mow it. Typically, they charge about $30 to $40 to do it, and it take you about an hour. And usually, the only thing that will cost you is the lawnmower gas, right? That'll be the only cost, and transportation driving there, right? And you get, if you do like a nice job, then they give you like $5 tip. I did that before. Um, yeah, I gotta say it's like pretty hard work, because compared that, you got sometimes you gotta be out in the sun doing the lawn mowing service, right? I prefer renting out a room where I just sit there and collect the rent, right? Like my girlfriend doing right now, she's doing that really good. But if you're hard work and you are doing a great job of it, and people recommend you, you can expand it to a big business using the Task Rabbit or Starter, right? And these two platforms are very popular for lawn mower provider services, and you can sign up for it if you already have the equipment with you. And you can earn typically, if there's a big yard, you can charge about $60, and they also give you a tip if you do it really well. And number five side hustle is record a podcast. So this is a lowest side hustle that does take a lot of patience. If you have a lot of things to say, if you have a topic that you're really passionate about, right? Kind of like if you're passionate about medical, if you're passionate about current events, if you're passionate about stock, right? You can, all you need is kind of like computer. Typically, all the computer include a microphone and a camera. All you need is that. You don't even need a camera. You just need a good microphone. You can buy it for like $100 or $50 start off, and sign up for Spotify or YouTube, and upload your videos, recording a podcast. And it does take almost like a year, right? You gotta have a lot of patience to build out that audience, and you gotta have a niche, right? You talk about a stock, typically create a video of a stock, or once or twice a day, or talk about building houses, talk about DIY videos, or talk about current events. And these are subjects that people might enjoy listening to you, and you can make pretty good amount of money, because podcasts are really taking off, and a lot of people listen to podcasts. So it depends on how well you can articulate your words. You can make podcasts as a side living hustle, right? I usually you can make about $300 to $400 a month just recording a couple videos, and if you get popular, get viral. In the past, I made a podcast. I think it went viral, and yeah, I did about like $4,000 in 1 month. But just one time, I got really lucky. And number six, get paid to test websites or apps. So I did this before, right? So I use a website called User Testing, all right, or Userlytics, right? So these are the companies that are building a new website or building a product, and it's very new, and they want your opinion on it. So the last one I did is for a credit card company, right? They want to know how the layout of the website feels to you since you're getting a credit card. Cause I use credit card a lot. I use user analytics to test out the credit card. I look at the website. I tell them what I think. I say, oh, this imagery looks really great, and I keep scrolling down. So okay, this information makes sense. Just express your feelings of what you can improve for the site, and they pay you about the one I did pay about $70 to $80, but here's the caveat. Sometimes it's pretty hard to get high paying gigs user lytics because when it's high paying, people just go straight to it and sign up for it, right? And also you have to be the right interest and the right demographic, right? The one I tested because I was in the market to get a credit card, and the credit card company selected me as a participant, and they paid me $80 for 1 hour of just doing some reviewing a website. Easy work. All you need internet and a camera, but the hard part is getting it right. And so that kind of fluctuates from month to month. Usually I make 80, sometimes I make 70. Sometimes I don't make anything because sometimes you just don't get that match. But if you have a lot of interest and know a lot, you can use that to test out websites or apps, right? Sometimes you don't make $80, you make $20 or $10, right? Depends on the complexities. Depend if the company have a lot of resource or money to give out. And number 7, the one that my brother is currently doing right now to make about $200 to $300 is delivering groceries. So there's an app called Spark Delivery that is made by Walmart, right? And this app, right, it just people, a lot of lazy people that don't want to go to Walmart and buy groceries and drive home, right? And so Walmart will pick out all the groceries and they will put it in your car. You do need a car for this, right? Put it in your car and they drive it home. Usually the delivery is about 6 miles and they pay you $20, right? And they also provide tips, so $25 on average. And this is only work if you live in a pretty decent small town, like a big city. It won't really work that well because people don't leave tips. So you want like a small town, that blue collar town or white blue collar job town. So like he live in the town that's about 5,000 population, and a lot of people leave really good tips because they work in a big city, but they don't like the big city life. So they drive like 40 minutes to live in the town that my brother live in. And right now I live in a town that is like 30,000 population. It also does pretty well. In the process of signing that up too right now because it is really great. My brother told me it's great, but he does work long hours. If he makes about $300, he work from 7 to 11 p.m. right? So it's a lot of hard work. If he want to make like $100, so he work from 7 to 4, around 4 or 3 p.m. So it's long hours, but he also stay out in the sun, getting the orders, delivering to the house. And in the winter time, it gets really cold. So all really depends on if you want to put in the work or not, delivering groceries, because majority of the time you just gonna drive it because you just park in the parking lot, and the Walmart people will load the groceries behind your car. And Spark is not the only one that does groceries. There's Postmate, there's Uber Delivery, DoorDash, right? These three are a lot of platforms that does it, but depends on your location, right? Because depends where you live. Some locations they offer really good tips, and others they don't offer a lot of good tips. So good tip locations usually is very profitable, right? So just think about if you think this is good for you. If you have a good car in a good location, it'll be a very profitable business like my brother is doing right now. But if you live in a big city like Chicago or New York, it's gonna be really hard because of traffic jam. And Charlotte, North Carolina, I was trying to deliver some food. It's really hard because majority of the time you're just sitting in traffic, right? And it's not enjoyable. You want it in a small town where there's not much traffic, and you just go there. If it takes 5 minutes to drive, it's gonna take 5 minutes to drive. But if you're in a big city, it takes 5 minutes to drive. But with traffic, it'll take about 20 minutes to drive there. So and here's like a trade-off right between the big city. Smaller cities, these gigs are great, right? So hopefully you enjoy the video. These 7 side hustles you can try in 2024, and personally tried it. And number 7 is the one that I'm trying to get into too right now because my brother is making really good money right now. So I might try that out too. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. My name is Kelvin, and I see you guys next one.